Again, practice number orders. I'm losing count. It's number 17 today. We're out in pads today, but it won't be much, live stuff. But yesterday wasn't live either in shells. Got to do a better job. You guys watched a little bit of that inside period. We got to stay up off the ground. But at least you got a physical good period there to watch. But, we had a good day yesterday. I was happy with what we saw, what we got out of our guys. Today's a big day because I think it's a mental day. I think we get into dog days of camp. It's like, let's get through them. And I've told our guys this morning, I expect more. I expect even more today. You start to feel sorry for yourselves this time of year. Okay, when's the game coming? When do we get to hit somebody new? And, but it comes down to really taking care of ourselves and have more details out here. So to me, we can make big strides here in the next 3 days if we can push through and are mentally tough enough to get that done. Questions?
It's been a couple days since we asked, but how do you feel about your field goal kicking this year?
I feel really good. I'll probably announce something tomorrow. Was my thought. Make a couple announcements tomorrow. I'll talk injuries tomorrow. I'll talk, kicker tomorrow a little bit more. But James London's been really good. He's been good. Trey Bukowski has done a really nice job. So he's competing. And Sam's had a good camp. Not as good as he was in the spring, but sometimes happens with kickers. But we'll see what happens today, and hopefully I get a little more information tomorrow.
Talked a little bit about Keith Gobea last week, struggling with some consistency, bouncing back and forth in center.
Yeah, he had a great.
How's he looking?
He looks great. He looks really good. I mean, he had played center, and then 2 days or a day. I forget, it was 1 or 2 day. He had maximum of 2 days, and maybe one was in spiders, but he didn't get the practice guard. And we went into the first scrimmage, and he was playing center. That's not easy for anybody to do. That's a totally different position. Hold on to a ball and snap it and making calls and then move back. But we saw what we thought in the second scrimmage about how good he was. And like I said, the pass protection was great. He's all part of that. Again, we've talked at the guard play, he solidifies that that group up front at that guard spot. But we got to be ready for change because it happens, and we will be ready this year.
Torrey and Chester. Oh, go ahead.
Besides Coretta, who are some of the other guards maybe vying for some backup spots?
Isaiah Montgomery's had, he stacked the last couple of days. He had a good scrimmage. He's playing fast, and if we just keep him to consistently do that all the time and not give us a up and down. You were going to get ready to ask a Torrey and Chester. He's he flashes. He looks good when he's with the threes. All of a sudden, you move up to twos. All of a sudden, becomes like, oh shoot. But I think the more reps we get with him in there, I think the better he'll get. But we'll see. So we've kind of rotated, Jackson Brown in there just to see what the combinations are. I talked yesterday about, the Coretta move in there. But we're moving stuff around.
What kind of camp has Deuce Spann had?
Deuce Spann has had a nice camp. I don't know if you saw yesterday. He just keeps getting better and better. He had at least 3 nice deep ball catches, which at 6'4", whatever he is, he's a heck of a lot taller than me. You just want to see that dude go up and get the ball. And he snagged 3 yesterday, which I hadn't seen him do in one practice. And that's the ability. He's that big target that, you get a little corner out there, it's a major mismatch. You get an average size 6-foot corner, still should be a mismatch. But if he can play at 7 foot and go up and reach and get that ball, that's what we want to see. And he showed that yesterday, but we need to get to consistently see that every day.
Is he involved on any of the return units?
Yes, he is. He's back there on kickoff returns. He's returned kicks. I think he had 353 yards of kick returns a year ago, Florida State. He can motor. He can run. We can get the ball in his hands and screens. He can block. And, again, that deep ball is, what we'd like to see him do too.
Because he didn't come out of high school playing receiver, did he have any, kind of work to do on his technical skills playing that position?
Not really. Again, we got him later in life, right? It's been a long time since he was a quarterback at Illinois. He went to Florida State, played receiver, obviously, receiver here. So, it's been a long time ago, but he's, but again, if he played in high school, would he be, a little bit further along? We got a year to get him where he needs to be because, he has aspirations of playing in the National Football League like they all do, and we want to try to help him get there if he pays attention to technique and fundamentals and just keeps getting. But he's just a super kid. Just love that kid.
We've talked a lot about Josh Garrier and Bruce Brookins, but what kind of camp is Alan Bryant having?
Alan Bryant, he had a good scrimmage. I wouldn't say pretty good. He had a good scrimmage. he's up and down, but he's been, there's a reason. Train. How you doing? That's my buddies on that, the engineer on that deal. But going back to the horn question, I mean, what kind of who's had what?
Alan Bryan.
Alan Bryan. So Alan had a good scrimmage, not great. He has kind of some up and down days, but we moved Jesse to receiver because Alan Bryan's doing well. So he's not going to be perfect back there. It's there's a lot of things running at you. We see a lot of different pass offense, different stuff that we see. I think he'll be great when we get into game planning and getting into, hey, this is what we're doing this week and slimming the package down because we have all kinds of offense and defense in at this point. But we'll start to narrow it down here next week and see what they do. But Alan Bryan has been solid. I'm happy with where he is. A lot happier than what we were in the spring because he only had one practice. Okay, so only got one practice in spring. So we feel good with where he is as well.
How about Cole Woodson? He seems pretty put together for a freshman.
He's really put together. He looks beautiful. I wish I looked like that as a freshman. He had a really nice scrimmage the other day. Now, he's still young. He's still learning. But Cole's going to be a really, really good football player for us. I like where he's at right now as a freshman. He got some major reps. He had an interception the other day. I don't know if I mentioned that. He had an interception. He might even have dropped one, too.
As the leader of your offense and the starter, what do you need to see from Eli over these next couple of days and then moving into the season?
He's a quarterback, right? Expect him to lead our team. We just, re-voted for Eagles last night. And his numbers keep going up as far as just who's voting for him and all that. But just keep leading, do what you're doing. What I don't want to do is ask too much from him, Like, he's a quarterback. He got enough on his plate. Like, don't, even the leadership stuff, that's great. Just, hey, just be the quarterback, right? I mean, that's your leader in itself. Everybody's looking to you in the huddle. So I just want to continue to, do what he does as a quarterback. Like, don't give him too much to do. Let him focus on being a quarterback. That's the main thing.
You said, you don't want to go too crazy today, avoid some injuries. But I know in the past, P.J. O'Brien was a guy you kind of had to reel back in. Is there anyone like that?
Oh, great question. Great question. Yeah, that's a really good question. So, Manny Taylor, he's out of control. Okay? He got someone in the private parts yesterday. Manny, you love his intensity. He's intense. He did it by accident, obviously. But there was times during camp that, he's definitely, if we pulled up a late hit or, not playing the tempo, he's one of them. Another linebacker, Justin Thompson, he's one of them. Brookins gets you a little bit. He's always going to get a hit in every once in a while, Cruz, but not overly bad. I'm trying to think who else. On offense, Keith can be a little nasty up there. I'm trying to think. Receivers, nah. Offensively, they're usually protecting and blocking. And then I'm trying to think of some more defensive guys. Ghost, I got to worry about Ghost all the time. Ghost, stay away from the quarterback. Stay away from the quarterback. Ghost, Isaiah Neal, that is. Ghost is a guy you got to worry about up front. Maverick, gosh, just staying away from the quarterback. You got some meatheads in there. You got to take care of the meatheads. Good guy. It's a great question. That's a good color question there. And again, I love those guys because they got great energy all the time. But, it's about the team. And we play we-fence here at Pitt. We don't just play offense. We just don't play defense. We play we-fence here. So we got to take care of we and make sure we're good that way.